Hello and welcome back to Vlogmas. Got no idea what day of Vlogmas it is, I'm sorry. But today's video is going to be I've got no idea what I'm going to call this. A book exchange video. So I've got some books that I'm unhauling and I'm taking them to a secondhand bookshop and I'm going to trade them in for some new books. Chestnut roasting. So yeah, it's pretty late right now. I'm going in tomorrow morning and I just know that I am not going to be organized and give myself enough time in the morning to film this. So I'm going to do it now. So sorry that the lighting isn't great. It's quite late. Let's just quickly go over this. The majority of these I talk about in my last unhaul video. So I actually haven't physically gotten rid of these books yet because I've been waiting to get time to go to the secondhand bookshop because this one's my favorite. I normally can find a lot there. Every time you go there, there's something different though. Sometimes it's not as good, but I haven't been there in over a year. So I'm really excited to go there. I'm hoping there'll be a lot there that I can get because it's been so long. If you want to hear more of my thoughts on why I'm getting rid of these, you can check that video out. It will be linked. So when I say that I've got a whole box, I mean it. I have a whole box here. So the first one here is Son of the Shadows. I am only unhauling this because I've got the rest of this series in the tall edition, so I don't really want this mass market anymore. I got it secondhand. I was planning to read it after I got it for a readathon and then I never ended up getting to it, and I was like, well, I may as well just get the edition that I need because I could only find it in the mass market secondhand at the time because they used to have it in the big size, but someone must have brought it. So anyway, I'll be getting rid of that and I will repurchase the size that's bigger and matches the others. Then I'm getting rid of A Man Called Uva. I just didn't really like this. I got this secondhand for like $5. I just think the man was annoying and the age that he was made no sense for his character in my head, and I just thought it was ridiculous and I didn't think he was super redeemed, and I found him annoying as shit, and not in a compelling way or an interesting way, just in an annoying way. Then I'm getting rid of, I'll need to untab these, the first two books in the Hawthorne Legacy Inheritance Games trilogy. I don't know. So these are the first two books. I am salty about the love triangle and how that looks like it's being resolved, and I did actually look up who she ends up getting with and I'm not happy about it. So I will still read the third book probably via audio at the library or something, but I don't need these because again, I'm salty about the love triangle. Then I've got Dreaming of You. I accidentally got 2 copies of this because I'm stupid. Then I've got Caraval. This was okay, just I don't know, mediocre, middle of the road YA that I will never reread and I don't care about that much. Then we've got the book I'm most salty about, which is Before the Devil Breaks You. I absolutely love the first 2 books in the Diviners series. They're 2 of my favorite books of all time. Honestly, this garbage, the 4th garbage, so don't need that in my life anymore. Then I've got here The Trader's Game. I will also need to untab this. I liked this, but I never see these secondhand, so I'd have to get them full price. And they're just not something that I want to invest that much money in, so I don't really need this edition. I can pass it on, someone else might find it, but I do still want to continue this via audio. I just don't see this as something that I want to invest a lot of money in. The last book that I am unhauling, the rest are all Liam's, is The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. This is garbage. We all know it's garbage. Let's not talk about it. It doesn't exist in my head. And then we just have some stuff of Liam's. There's this random comic. I don't know if he'll take this because I don't know this is worth anything or it's popular. Don't even know why Liam has it, but he doesn't want it anymore, which is fair enough. Then he has 2 books from the Summoner series. Read this one, which is the prequel. He'd already read this series. I don't know why he brought it to just unhaul it, but you know. Can I talk? No. Obviously got a book buying problem. And then he also wants to get rid of Prince of Fools, which I think I got for him secondhand, or no, I think he actually brought this one full price. I might make sure he wants to get rid of this because I feel like, you know, he might want to keep this. I don't know. So anyway, I don't know how much I'm going to get for these. I think he will accept of this because I don't know anything about comics, so I've got no idea if this is worth anything. But I think everything else here he should take.
Honey, you've got a big storm coming.
quick update. He didn't take any of my books. He wouldn't take any of them, not a single one. So I'm going to a different place now. So I'll give you details later, but hopefully, fingers crossed, the person at this shop actually takes at least some of my books. Okay, so he also wouldn't even take them. He wouldn't even look at them. So apparently secondhand bookshops don't want to survive. So I guess I'm gonna now make this a come to Little Free Libraries with me vlog. Yay!
I look terrible. Kind of reflects how I feel. I apologize that this video has not gone the way that I wanted it to go. I feel like this is going to be my worst Vlogmas video. I mean, one has to be the worst. So nothing went to plan. I don't know what is happening with the secondhand bookshops here, but if they're not going to be taking in books, their businesses are going to go, you know, like, I don't know. I don't understand that business strategy. So yeah, neither of them would take my books. The first one I went to at least looked at them, but he was sort of like, you know, we've had the worst last 2 months. I'm not really taking anything in that's not like new and popular. And I'm like, all of these are popular and one came out last year. But, you know, I doubt he knows anything about these genres. So I was just like, okay, like I didn't argue with him. And I brought a few books from the first one. And then I went to the second one, which I've been to a lot. The person that owns that shop should, you know, recognize me. I have brought a lot of books from him over the years. I've been a very loyal customer. I think I've only brought in 1 or 2 books once. So I mainly have just brought from him. And yeah, I brought in the books and I was like, "Hi, are you taking books at the moment?" He said, "No, I think I've got enough books at the moment, thanks." And I was like, I feel like the show Black Books is a comedy, but it's also kind of very realistic.
Right, the shop is closed. Everybody get out. What? Time to go home. Come on.
It's only 2:45.
Yes, but it's my shop. Come on, go home. Bye-bye.
So I didn't even look at his books. I just walked out because I was pretty pissed. I was like, okay. Like, he wouldn't even look at them. I've got enough books at the moment. Yeah. And they're shit and no one wants them. So you need to like get rid of them so that you have room to bring in these new books that people will actually want. But for all he knew, I could have had something really good in there. You know, he wouldn't even look. At least the first guy looked. I don't own a secondhand bookshop, so I don't know what the business strategy is. But to me, I just feel like you need to be bringing books in. Because if you're not bringing new books in, no one's going to want to come into shop because they come in and they just see shit that's been there for 10 years. They're not going to, you know. Like the first one I went to, he's got like 100 copies of V.C. Andrews books. Okay, first up, just get rid of those. There's a whole shop. And I know that if people are only bringing in books, they're not gonna make money, right? So I see their hesitancy with just paying for books and never, you know, getting money back. But I just don't feel like that is solving the problem, because it's like, yeah, but if you don't have stuff coming in, you don't have anything. And they act like, oh, we've already got a lot that people want, but like they don't. So I then went to a few Little Free Libraries and I found 2 books. So I brought 3 at the first bookshop and then I found 2 at the Little Free Libraries, and I just gave a few that you see in the clips. And then the rest I still have, and I'm going to try and like sell cheap on Facebook Marketplace. And if I can't sell them, I will just donate them or put them in Little Free Libraries. So let's have a look at the goodies that I got. So these first 2 are the ones that I got at the Little Free Library, which you saw. So that was the Vegetarian and When He Was Wicked. So I have read this, so I'll be able to chuck this straight onto my red shelf. This is the 6th or 7th book in the Bridgerton series, and it's my favorite. And this cover is heinous, but honestly, I don't know, it matches my face. So, you know, we can be heinous together. So this one follows Francesca, and it's about her and Michael, and she married Michael's best friend, and he passed away, and Michael had been in love with her all this time. I think he was in love with her even before they got married. Like, he has this like burning love for her, and it's kind of about their romance after her husband's passed away. So I absolutely love this one. I gave it 4.5. I didn't end up giving any of the Bridgerton books 5 stars, but I think in hindsight this one and the last one might be 5. So yeah, I saw that and I'm like, well, I want to own this, and I'm never gonna buy the whole set of Bridgerton books just because, again, I didn't like love the series overall. So I don't mind if my editions don't match. And then we have The Vegetarian, and this won the Man Booker International Prize, and I want to read all the Man Booker, well, it's actually just called the Booker Prize now. I do want to read all of them, and probably the International as well at some point. That's a lot of books. It's following a married couple, you know, they're very ordinary life, basic bitches. The wife is seeking a more plant-like existence. She commits a shocking act of subversion. She refuses to eat meat. Thus begins a disturbing and thrilling psychological drama about taboo, desire, rebellion, and fantasy. It's a haunting masterpiece with the power to change its reader's view of the world. I have wanted to read this for a while. I was super excited when I saw this in the Little Free Library. Most of the time when you go to those, there's not really anything, but sometimes you do find something really good. So pretty happy with that. And then these last 3 I did get at that first secondhand bookshop because I wasn't as salty. In that case, I was able to still have a look. The first one I got was Heir to Seven Waters. I'm kind of just collecting Juliet Marilia's books because I want to read her books. Well, I used to want to read them. Now I don't know because I just never get to her books, so maybe that will never happen. I saw this, so I got it because I've just been collecting her books when I see them secondhand. So don't know what this is about, don't know what series this is in, don't know what order, so I'm not going to summarize it because I don't know if it was a spoiler. So that's that one. She writes like fantasy with a bit of romance. They were for like female characters. I just feel like they're my vibe. And then these next 2 books were influenced by Ellie from Earl Grey Books. I did tell her, and she said it made her feel very powerful. So go you. One of these is a suggestion from her, and one is one that I've seen her talk about in a video. I think she started reading it, I'm not sure. So the first one is a Sabrina Jeffries book. So she really likes Sabrina Jeffries, and I've never read any. So I think I've now brought 4 or 5. I'm hoping next year to do a project where I just do a video every month or so where I read one of the historical romances that I own, because I own so many, but I can just never find ways to fit them into videos. But we'll just see how I go. I have so many things I want to do when it comes to reading that I know I can't get to everything, but I will try. So this is How to Woo a Reluctant Lady. I didn't even read what it's about because she just said this one's one of her favorites. I wanted to get the first book in her favorite series by this author, but it wasn't there. So I got this one. So the main character wants to thwart her grandmother's demands, and she's going to become engaged to a rogue. And there's a handsome spy. Sounds fun. The cover is beautiful. And there is no step back, but that is fine. And then the second one is Great Circle, which I actually don't remember what this is about, but I remember when she mentioned it, I was like, oh, that's my kind of shit, so I added it to my TBR. So it's in 1950, and it follows this character who wanted to fly a great circle around the globe, and she ends up stranded in the Antarctic ice. With a fearsome stretch of water separating her from her goal, she writes one last diary entry in her logbook. And then it goes half a century later to a Hollywood starlet who wants to play her in the movie about her life. That sounds like my shit. I really want to read this. So yeah, thank you, Ellie, for your recommendations. You are a social influencer. Congratulations. So yeah, that is this Vlogmas video. Again, I'm sorry it kind of sucked. I think it's a good example that sometimes things don't always go to plan, and a lot of the time, at least for me, and I know a lot of other booktubers do this, we will just scratch the video. Like normally I would have just scratched this, but again, I don't really have time and I want to do the full 25 videos, so I'm going to keep it. But not everything always goes to plan. I hope it still brought you some kind of joy, because honestly it was a bit of a bummer for me. Yes, so thank you so much for being here, and I hope I'll see you tomorrow for Vlogmas, and hopefully tomorrow will be a better day, better video. Here's hoping. But until then, bye.
Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas.